So there is rare, and then there's unprecedented. We've been telling you how rare it is that a Clear Creek County deputy remotely supervising an incident was criminally charged for the shooting death of Christian Glass over the summer. Experts in police procedure and the law told our Steve Sager today there might not be a single other case like this.
Keep your windows down because we're here to help you.
What we saw months later, Sergeant Kyle Gould was allegedly watching in real time.
Are you on live stream right now? Yeah. Okay.
We hear Deputy Andrew Buin and his partner talk about a live stream on the body camera video the night 22-year-old Christian Glass called 911 for help. The night Deputy Buin eventually broke his window, shot him with beanbag rounds, tased him, and then shot him. No need to show you all of that again. The grand jury indictment argues their supervisor, Sergeant Gould, was watching a live feed of their body cameras.
In this case, there does seem to be a relatively clear argument to be made that it was the decision of Sergeant Gould, who was not at the scene, that led to the death.
Ian Farrell is a law professor at DU. He says the fact that Gould could see it all, including how Glass was acting that night, explains why he was charged.
The fact that there was a live feed going to the decision maker, and so there was sufficient information available to him that a reasonable person would have known making the decision to take this person out of the car would create a substantial risk of him ending up hurt or even killed.
According to the grand jury's indictment, Buin calls Gould on the scene.
Yeah, for personal conversation.
And mutes his body camera while they talk. When he sets his phone down, you can see it's Gould on the other end of the line.
It is extremely rare, virtually unheard of in the law enforcement world.
Ed Obayashi is a sheriff's deputy and police tactics expert in California.
You know, in my experience, the officers don't call for permission to break in, as I mentioned, to use force.
The indictment alleges after the phone call, the decision is made.
Gould's already given us authorization. We're just trying everything we can.
Double check. I'll stand 5116, and you have a fast pop in this window.
Buin checks with Gould on the radio again, then breaks the window.
So far.
116 will be forcing entry.
The beginning of the end. Now, neither Obayashi nor Farrell could recall a case where a police supervisor who was off the scene used a live stream to monitor a situation, and that may be key in this case, Farrell says. Gould is charged with criminally negligent homicide for authorizing that forced entry. Buin, who was on scene, is charged with second-degree murder. But the fact that this was watched on a body camera live stream, something that I think you and I didn't even realize you could do. Yeah. It might come in key in this case. We'll have to see what happens in court.
What do the experts tell you about when you would call a supervisor to get an approval on something?
So Ed Obayashi says yes. In these cases where it's urgent, you really rely on the officer to make that decision. But in a case like a welfare check, like say your neighbor calls and says, I haven't seen this person in 3 days, but their car's out front and their door's locked and I'm not sure they're okay. That's when a police officer who's going in to check out might call a supervisor and say, hey, what do you think about this? Should we break this door open, see if the person inside is okay? That's the type of typical situation you'd have. But Obayashi said this type of situation, he's rarely ever seen anyone ever ask for permission to break into a car with someone who's non-compliant inside.
Again, only found out about this because the family questioned the narrative put out by law enforcement.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Steve.